how about this? Wedding guest from hell screaming at the bride that she had slept with the groom. So this lady ruined the bride's wedding day. Now the bride's suing. What do you think? You think she has a case? I want to hear from you on that one. Call in 1-877-TEL-HLN is the number. You can email us at cnn.com/prime news, or you can text us at HLN TV. Just start your message with the word prime. Again, it's your chance to be heard. Coming up, got to stick around for this one. A bride suing the guest from hell. The woman screams, "I slept with the groom." That's the other woman here. Does she have a case? Call in. Look back to Prime News on HLN. Nothing like a beautiful wedding. September wedding, September 19th to be exact. Sandrina and Harold Purdom, so happy. Take a look at them. New York Post photo, sharing their special day with 70 invited guests. But one of them was the guest from hell. The bride says the young lady goes up to her at the reception, basically says she's sleeping with the groom. So much chaos ensues. All the guests kicked out. Now the bride is suing. Does she have a case? Let's bring in our defense attorneys. Chip Merlin. We bring back Mark Eiglarsh as well. Mark, also a former prosecutor. We want to hear from you on this one. Do you think she has a case? The number 1-877-TEL-HLN if you want to call in. All right, guys, here's the grounds for the lawsuit seeking unspecified damages. She accuses the guest of slander, inflicting emotional distress, and battery. She claims that this guest from hell poked her in the chest. Mark, sounds like she's got a case to me. What do you think?
She may. Let's hope it's not true. That's the first thing. And we don't know whether it's true or not, whether the allegation was. But what she did do was destroy her wedding day for sure. She slammed her finger into her chest. There's the battery. You've got slander, assuming she's yelling these things and they're not true. And the emotional distress is not just the words, but the throwing of drinks and the slamming of her finger in the bride's chest. I think that there's a possibility because they didn't go on their wedding day and they've had problems ever since.
Okay. You say possibility. Chip, what do you think? Why not here? Go ahead.
I hope Mark's law practice isn't built on these types of cases or he's going to go broke.
I do criminal work exclusively.
The bottom line in a case like this is that the courts don't provide a remedy when people's feelings are hurt. And inappropriate conduct often in society results in people having feelings that are somehow hurt. In this particular case, since there's no physical impact that goes along with what she said, and there was just a simple touching, at most the battery's nominal damages in $1, this is the type of case that really ought to be on the tabloids or on the Maury Povich show, and nowhere should it be found in a court of law.
Okay, maybe I'm the hopeless romantic here, but it goes beyond feelings hurt, doesn't it, Chip? When you're talking about your wedding day, 70 guests are there at this reception, and some lady's telling you, she's poking her finger in your chest and telling you she's sleeping with your husband. Let me read the quote from her. Or where was the quote? Basically, she ruined everything, is what she's saying. And
that lady...
And it's absolutely inappropriate conduct. I agree with you 100%. And if every single time somebody filed a lawsuit in this country for somebody having inappropriate conduct, our courts would be filled with these types of lawsuits, and that's the reason why the law makes it a very high level with respect to bringing claims of emotional distress, because everybody's feelings get hurt every single day. We just don't bring these types of lawsuits. And the second thing is, the real reason, what's the motivation for it? If she's so concerned about this, why republish this in front of the country? There's a second motive here between the attorney and the couple bringing this claim.
Well, I'll say this real quick. I mean, if that's me, if that's my big wedding day, I want the money back. What's wrong with asking for that? I mean, for the money for the wedding and the reception. Go ahead, Mark.
And this unruly guest was the boss of the groom, and apparently she called him the day after and said, "Look, I apologize. I'm going to give you a raise and finally give you those health benefits that you wanted." He said, "I'm out of here." Yeah. So this has destroyed their family. Chip, I think it's more than just hurting the feelings. She really did a lot more in this
Agreed
case.
on that. But hey, let's get a call in, guys. Becca in Oregon. Becca, your thoughts here?
I think that this case should only be tried on the civil court. I think this bride is absolutely ridiculous. She needs to enjoy the day. She still has her husband and be happy with that.
So you think you don't agree with the lawsuit?
Not at all.
How would you feel? On your wedding day, if some woman came up to you and said that the day you've dreamed of your whole life basically goes to pot, wouldn't you want somebody to pay a price?
No, I'm marrying the man that I love. She's still married to him and still has him. And I think that she is looking for a pity party that she doesn't deserve.
Interesting. Okay, Becca, thanks for the call. Yeah, I know. Becca's tough.
Harsh. We don't want her on the jury. We don't want her there.
Right. Let's clear up a couple of things. The groom denies the affair ever took place. right?
Well,
but now
that's no
the
surprise.
wife... Yeah, right. Good point
surprise.
there. And the wife, she doesn't trust her husband, obviously, and if she does find out they had an affair, she's out of there, that she wants the divorce. All right, Mark, let me ask you this on a front of emotional distress. How do you prove that? And do you have to go beyond just what happened on that wedding day?
Well, it's tough to do because typically the courts find that words alone are not enough, which is why I pointed to her slamming her finger in her chest, which your other guest is correct. It's not going to receive major damages, but it gets her into the battery ballpark. And then the throwing of the drinks. This guest was throwing drinks at the wedding. I think, again, it's a challenging lawsuit, but there's a shot.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Get some more calls in. Call in on this one. Do you think it's a valid case or not? 1-877-TEL-HLN is the number. I can't wait to hear from you. Welcome back to Prime News on HLN. We're continuing to talk about the wedding guest from hell. All right, again, to reset the scene, let's take a look at the picture of who we thought. This was the happy bride and groom, Sandrina Purdom, Harold Purdom. It's their wedding day. All of a sudden, Harold's boss shows up and goes up to the bride at the reception and says, hey, basically tells her she's been sleeping with him, and this wedding is ruining everything. Well, now the bride is suing this other woman, who again happened to be Harold's boss. We're taking your calls on this. Olivia in Louisiana. Olivia, go ahead.
Yes, first of all, I wanted to see why she was waiting until now to make a case if her wedding was in September, and also, unless there was a punch thrown or something like that, get over it and divorce your husband, or laugh and reminisce about it later, and just be happy with the fact that he's yours now. And, you know, if it was anything to it, he would have married the boss.
Olivia, help me here. It's your wedding day. Don't you want somebody to pay you something for ruining it?
Well, I've being married myself, you know, it was a very important day, but if she's still married to the man, I don't think it's completely ruined. Yeah, there might be some bad memories, but overall, you have your husband, you have the joy of marriage in the beginning of a new life together. And unless she completely wrecked everything by throwing punches and destroying, you know, the material things.
Well, she destroyed the wedding. Forget the punches. She destroyed what's supposed to be the dream day for a bride and a groom. But, gosh, I guess maybe I'm the softie here. I don't know. Let's get another call in. William in Michigan. William, what do you think?
Well, I think that usually when things like cheating or something like that goes on, all three of the parties usually knows what's going on. So I think they should have found some kind of a way to sit down like adults, find out where they're able to be married, where a guy able to have two wives. And then everybody get together and, you know, and live happily ever after, similar to a fairy tale.
All right, William, thanks for the call on that one. Chip, let me get back to you. I mean, so this lady, the boss/other woman, allegedly, she doesn't know anybody anything, huh? You can ruin a wedding and go on your merry way.
Look, your conduct can make you responsible, especially financially in this, where the bride and groom are out all this money, and certainly she's completely destroyed by her inappropriate conduct a great time and wedding. But the last gentleman absolutely had the right point. There are private ways to get this resolved, or ways other than publicizing it in the New York Post about a very private lawsuit. As a matter of fact, their attorney could have kept this quiet by just putting John or Jane Doe with respect to the pleadings, so that the matter could resolve. It was just really about money. If what they're seeking is publicity, and the other attorney has done it, and they want to republicize this to everybody in the country, they're successful on that particular point in this case.
Well, I think it'd be fair if she paid for the cost of the wedding and the reception. That's me. Mark, real quick, last word on this one.
70 guests were ushered out because she's throwing bottles and she's hitting and she's yelling, "You effed up my life." I mean, some of the things she did were outrageous. I'm saying a lawsuit's not out of the question. It ruined her dream, her wedding day.
Yeah, okay. Good topic, good spirited debate. Guys, thanks so much. Thank you, the viewers, for calling in as well. All right.